Hello guys and welcome for another video. For the last few days I've got the chance to play the upcoming in June Dune Awakening. This game is a nice mix between survival, MMO and a little bit of roleplay depending on how much you like and know the lore of Dune. The beta was open and free to test for everyone as long as you can get yourself a key from one of the many streams and giveaways. However, on the release the game will have a price tag, and the information that we have so far is that DLCs will follow with additional content. I've had around 20 hours of gameplay and I can say that I've learned quite a lot, and I hope that there won't be too many secret mechanics in the later stage of the game. For this short overview, I will be completely honest with you and I will try to point out the good and the bad things from my own experience. Starting off with the positive, I cannot pass to mention that the game looks stunning. The visuals and the quality of all things happening around you, from the smallest objects to the big worms in the sands, are just gorgeous. I think that the game is amazing when it comes to graphics and details, and you will find a lot of spots which can prove that. On top of it, even running at ultimate graphics, I still maintain stable and high FPS, so it is safe to say that the performance of the game is also well done. The next thing, which I believe was quite nice and it felt really good, was the overall movement of your character around the world. Even at later stages, when you can jump and float into the air, it just feels really smooth and satisfying. There are also quite a lot of abilities which can come with the different classes to further elevate the mechanics of movement, and there is no doubt that this will give you huge advantage over your opponents if you know how to traverse throughout the rocks in the desert. Gathering and respectively crafting is probably the core of the whole Dune title, and of course I'm talking about the game here. To me it felt a bit strange at first, but once you get to know which resource is necessary for the different crafts, everything comes in place. I also believe that the system for gathering and crafting is well made, as it is easy to understand where to get your items from and how to process them for the further upgrades. One small note here is that you should not get obsessed with gathering, as you will find yourself with a full backpack in no time. Another huge point to make is the UI and all the guides provided for all the beginners. I believe that the instructions from the start until you are on your own are quite clear and easy to understand. They will provide you with the basic knowledge of all the dangers in the desert, and they will teach you all the necessary things needed for your further improvement of gear, weapons, gathering tools, housing, refining qualities, and of course your vehicles. Last but definitely not least, I think that the game just feels nice and playing it gives you a cool vibe. I'm most likely missing something else to mention, but please let me know in the comments what stand out for you from this open beta testing. Before going further to the cons of Dune Awakening, I would like to remind you that subscribing to the channel is free and at the same time it helps me a lot, so thanks to all of you who already did that, as you guys are just amazing. Now let's get real and check what were the not so great things when it comes to the beta. The first thing I didn't really enjoy was the fact that PvE combat felt a bit strange. Mostly it was due to the fact that all NPCs around the world were quite bad and not fully responsive to your location and actions. I hope that the reason for that was the early stages of the game, as we were still in the first two zones, as if this is the way how all NPCs will act overall, it will definitely kill it and there will be no challenge for me at all. The next thing which felt really bad was the way of driving your vehicle. I know we are not in a racing simulator, but the way your vehicle flips on top of your head, or you simply jump from a rock, head down, and then you don't even take a single bit of damage, neither to yourself or to your motorbike, is just ridiculous. Also, there is a way to add additional seat to your bike so you can ride with your friend, but you can simply tell him to jump on top of the motorbike and you will be able to ride with him regardless. Also, you're not able to drive over your enemies and even to damage them like this, so that's just a bit sad. In general, I believe that there is quite a lot of improvements necessary to polish the vehicles in general for the game. And speaking about polishing, let's get into the real business and touch upon the PvP combat. The whole concept of the combat is amazing with the system of melee, short and long range. Additionally, the shields will provide some extra spice to the mix, but for some reason it all feels a bit clunky. Some melee attacks don't register at all, some abilities completely whiff off the target, and God save you if you run out of stamina and someone is using a melee dagger to hit you with light attacks, which will stagger you consistently.
Comboed. Oh god, I'm so dead.
What is
God.
this? Bro, I have no stamina.
I'm getting cooked. I'm getting cooked, man. I'm getting cooked.
No, no.
I'm hitting my ulti. Press something! Stop just swinging at me, bro! What is this? So it's the dagger meta. Wait, jump on the bike! There's something! What the fuck is this?
In my opinion, the combat has indeed a good idea behind it, but it just needs a little bit of tweaks in order to make it more balanced and less clunky. And to keep the review short, sweet and straight to the point, my last con for Dune Awakening will be the still unknown late game cycle. In my opinion, every game has to have something special to keep the player base interested for as long as possible. I really wonder what would that be in Dune Awakening, as so far we know almost nothing about the true endgame. There are bits and pieces of information which leads us to think and imagine some things, but until we see the true endgame we cannot be so sure. Therefore, I believe that this is most likely the biggest red flag, as if there is no real endgame cycle, then it just becomes a game of discovery, gathering and crafting. Well, that's all from me guys, but I'm sure that you have your own thoughts about the game either by watching it or playing it. Was it a good or a bad beta for you? Because I'm curious to know, go to the comments and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.